watching Hidden Heritage, Stories from Native America on RFD TV.
We're standing atop the powwow grounds in Lower Brule, South Dakota. When we first returned home in 1993, we were brought and invited to the first annual powwow, our first powwow, in the summer of 1994. It was a day much like this, when we had our first lesson and first began to learn about the social event, the gathering that's known as the powwow.
I attended my first powwow the summer of 1994. The setting was beautiful. The powwow grounds of the Lower Brule Sioux Reservation, our new home. For someone who had grown up in mainstream America, this event was full of beauty and culture. Yet at the heart of the gathering, there was something deeper, something just out of reach of my limited vocabulary. In trying to describe the powwow to friends and family, I found myself coming up short in describing what I was feeling inside. As the years would go by, I would find that it was music itself, without lyrics, that would best communicate the powerful spiritual feelings that overwhelmed us that summer. To this day, I can find no equal to the powwow in mainstream America. It was part community festival, family reunion, county fair, and church social, all rolled up into one event. It brought out the entire community, including children, parents, grandparents, and elders. Children and elders danced freely and proud for the better share of 3 days and 3 nights. The event was open to the public, but yet there was only a handful of spectators from the outside world. It soon became a goal of mine to bring the powwow off the reservation in an effort to share this beautiful cultural event with the world.
Right ahead.
The flag song is paying respects to the flag itself.
Every powwow begins with the grand entry, when all dancers are seen for the first time. The thing that really struck me that afternoon was the role of the flags. Still early in my assimilation process, I was curious about the order in which the flags entered the powwow arbor. The American flag stood tall in the center of the arbor even before the procession started. The eagle feather staff carried in by the veterans was first, then followed by the state flag and finally the tribal flag. I asked one of the elders about this, and his response caught me off guard. He said, "Even though we, meaning Native America, are now the smallest minority in this great country, we still have, per capita, the highest number of men and women that enter the armed services every year." His words hit me hard. That afternoon, I began to reevaluate all that I had been taught as a young boy and learning about the American Indian. Before the year was done, I had gone through a total paradigm shift. My perception of Native America had now shifted 180 degrees from what I was taught as a young boy in the mainstream.
I'm Sergeant Joseph Ducheneau. I'm a veteran with this veteran group here. We do the grand entries for the powwow every year, and I still serve with the South Dakota National Guard, and so I kind of represent Native American veterans, and I also represent the state of South Dakota when I'm doing this.
They say in the long ago time that the stories were told through our dances. When the warriors came back from battle, they would tell the story through their dances. They say when a dancer would look to the ground, they say maybe he's looking for the tracks of the enemy or for the tracks of the buffalo. Or they say he looked to the sky for the eagle. And then powwow changed, it became intertribal, and dancers from all nations started dancing all these different style of dances that are done in the modern day. Powwow is done in celebration of life, celebration of this Mother Earth that we walk upon.
Native Americans, and there are different feelings for you, different for me from Europe. When I was a girl, I had an older brother, and parents bought him books about Indians too. Romanticism, spirituality, brave of Native Americans was for me very interesting, and for me it was feeling about something great, something unknown for me.
My name is Walter Labatt Jr. I'm Assistant Wapton from Upper Sioux Reservation.
Hello, my name is Wesley Niholi. I'm from the Pioneer Ridge Indian Reservation. I'm a northern traditional dancer.
It's Nick Damaris. I'm from Spirit Lake, North Dakota, and I'm a fancy dancer.
Yeah, that's power fuel right there.
My name's Robert Hawk. I'm from the Lakota Sioux tribe and I dance grass.
Hi, my name is Myles Luck. I'm Canadian from Toronto, Ontario. Coming over this ridge here, I realized this beautiful view here. I can't believe it. But then I also noticed some festival going on down there, some Indian tents and that stuff, and I just checked with some of the locals here, and they told me it's an Indian powwow going on. I've seen them on TV, but I've never been to one myself personally, so with advice of some of the people here, I'm going to go down and check it out myself.
From our very first visit to the Lower Brule Sioux Reservation, I began to understand the importance and the role the traditional drum has played in the culture. There are over 550 recognized tribes in the United States. There are many differences between the tribes, but there is one common thread that connects all tribes together: the drum. It goes far back as recorded and oral history can remember. It is a primal instrument and probably the first instrument known to mankind. To the Lakota people, the drum is considered the heartbeat of Mother Earth. The drum is always treated with great respect and honor and is watched over carefully. Always wrapped in a blanket, the drum itself never touches the ground. In the Lakota way, only the men play the drum and women sing from the outside circle. I took the time to talk with various tribal members to get their perspective on the drum.
Buju anin eje yayin gish gupwing dijnakaz waswaganin nundun jabam magizanindo dem. My name is Thurza Defoe, is my English name, but my native name is Gijigokwe, and most of my family and tribe call me that. It means Sky Woman. lady who comes from the eastern sky, and wherever she goes, she makes friends, or the grass turns green where she walks. I'm from the Oneida and Ojibwe tribes of northern Wisconsin. Oneida on my mom's and Anishinaabe on my father's. I'm also from the Eagle clan, the Anishinaabe side, and my mom's side. I'm the Turtle clan. The reason why the drum is so important is because if you put your hand on your heart and you feel that beat of the drum, they say that's the first music or the first rhythm that a baby hears inside the mother's womb. So as you're born into the world, you actually come into this world with hearing the heartbeat of your mother's heart, which is consistent and always going. So that's really important, what I was taught by my mom and my father and from the Anishinaabe people.
Right off the bat, the drum is your heartbeat. It is your mom. You treat it with the utmost respect. You never sing at a drum in flip-flops or sandals or shorts. You never eat food around a drum. The women never touch the drum, especially if they're in their moon. They always respect it and stand right outside behind the men. If they're married or boyfriend, girlfriend, they didn't stand behind their man in respect to them when they're singing at that drum. That's a very, very powerful thing. The songs that you sing, when you sing songs, you learn where they come from. What do the words mean if it has words? If it's a melody or a contemporary song, learn why it comes from. What celebration did that song come from? Because every song has an origin. It was created for a reason.
A person was to just walk up to a drum, they have to show the respect, not only to the drum, but to the people that sit around it, because we have different people that, like our drum carriers, the keepers of these different things, the keepers of the songs, the keepers of all different elements that come along with that drum. Bide wa kanta wa oyate ki imacha jedo, matonaji hemeyelo, washichu ia Dedric Thomas imakia bido. What I say in my first language is that I belong to the Spirit Lake people, the Spirit Lake dwellers, which today the people know as Santee, the Santee people, which we are Dakota. And the name that I live by with my people is Standing Bear, Matonaji. But the Christian name that is given to me is Dedric Thomas.
No alcohol or drugs can be around the drum. We pray with it. It's like the heartbeat of this heartbeat that makes people keep continuing life.
You're watching Hidden Heritage, Stories from Native America on RFD TV. We began to travel the back roads of America, performing at places where our culture is seldom seen. Whenever possible, we have presented the traditional dance with our contemporary Native American music. The combination of the two have proven to be entertaining and educational, in essence allowing us to follow our mission by bringing that part of our culture off the reservation and out into mainstream America. It continues to be a fulfilling and spiritual journey.